Welcome to our October 1st, 2014 Planning Commission meeting. And we've got two items on the agenda today. The first item being a public hearing. And after we have our public hearing, then the second item, we move into our regulars meeting. So with that being said, Jerry, if you wouldn't mind doing the roll call.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Chairman Gears,
Here.
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Brown,
Here.
all present.
All right, thank you, Jerry. The first item is a public hearing, and what we do on the public hearings, we have, I'll go over what it is, and then from there, we ask the person requesting the public hearing to come forth and then explain what they're proposing. And then from there, we have anyone in the audience who wants to speak in favor of the development or anyone who wants to speak against it, we give them the opportunity to come forth. And then from there, Planning Commission, if we have any questions or discussions, we'll ask questions and discussions. So with that, the first item is we have Daryl Simpson, Senior Vice President, Development for the Sanders Trust, represented Reliant Hospital, Norwood, at 4953 Section Avenue, located in a heavy manufacturing district, which is M2, with a planned unit development, which is a PUD overlay, is presenting for review both the preliminary and final plans. So with that being said, if we can have someone, whoever would like to come up and just for the public and for our TV audience to explain what you're proposing and that, then we can go from there. Sure, that's fine.
Well, good afternoon. I am not Daryl Simpson. I'm Jeff Shamit with Nair Properties, representing the property owner, and I'll be brief and then let the folks from Reliant tell you more about their project. But I think you're all a little bit familiar with the history of the property and what's occurred here, and we really appreciate the partnership with the city of Norwood and working with Jerry over the past really 5 years or so to remediate this property, get the Clean Ohio grants, and get all of that happening to really get to the point that we are today and see the culmination of that process with this pretty exciting project. Big investment, good payroll. We're excited about the project. We hope you are as well. But I'll let the folks from Reliant tell you a little bit more about the details of the project. I'm happy to answer any other questions that you have, either now or through this process.
Okay. Any questions right now? Okay. Thank you.
Well, I do have one question, which, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Is
Yeah.
is the cleanup completed?
It is.
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
I saw them working there the other day.
Yeah, they just do testing. They're doing 4 samples.
Good afternoon. I'm Chester Crouch. I'm the CEO for Reliant Hospital Partners. First of all, we're excited about being here today. We're very excited about this facility. This will be our 15th rehab hospital. We're based in Texas. You may or may not know that. And so we have 14 current locations in 3 states, 5 in Massachusetts, 8 in Texas, and 1 here in Ohio as well. So we're very excited about it. This will be a 40-bed facility. I think a little bit about Reliant. We're about an 8-year-old company. We're an industry leader in inpatient rehabilitation, and so the clientele we treat are patients that you would think of as maybe having had a stroke, car accident, maybe a multi-trauma, or maybe they've been involved in or maybe they've had a serious illness and have had extensive hospitalization and need time to recover and rehabilitate. And that's the type of facility that we are. 2/3 of our workforce will be nurses and therapists, and 1/3 will be support personnel. We're a very successful company, strong financial balance sheet. We're privately held. I'm one of the original founders of the company 8 years ago. I'm a physical therapist as well. And so very proud of our company, very proud of what we've done. We have a great team here with Sanders Trust and Perkins Will. We've built, 8 facilities, I think, with Perkins Will. I've done a couple of facilities with Sanders Trust. So we feel like we know what we're doing very well and what we want to accomplish. And so we're very excited about working with you all. We appreciate your support in this program, and we're excited about being a good steward of your community.
Okay. Any questions? I would just, and I know you've already said it, but basically it's a rehabilitation center due to health problems, not any other kind of problems.
Correct. We're not a behavioral health facility. We're not an alcohol rehab facility.
Okay.
We're really an inpatient physical rehab and cognitive rehab facility.
Okay.
About 90% of our patients will come from an acute care hospital.
Okay.
So maybe that gives you an idea of the transition there.
Basically, I mean, from what I know, it's a mini hospital that's staffed 24/7, and you have patients that are there.
That's correct. We'll have a medical staff. We'll have a medical director, 24-hour nursing care, 24-hour care, and technically an emergency room as well.
Okay.
Although that emergency room is mainly to stabilize and transfer to a more appropriate facility.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I don't know whether it's the right time for comments, but I'd like to comment sometime on the meeting we had with them way
Okay.
back when, so whenever it's appropriate.
All right. I would do that underneath new business.
Okay,
That's all right.
that's fine, sir.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Any other questions? Yeah. go ahead.
Wanted to follow up on that. One of the questions I'd have would be, what is or how, you said stabilize people in order to be transported
Right.
elsewhere. I'm wondering, do you have an estimate, a guess? I mean, how often would you have ambulance runs coming there, do you
Yeah,
think?
in the 8-year history of our company, we have 14 locations. We've never had that happen.
Okay,
Everyone always assumes that if they need emergent care, they'll go to an urgent clinic or an emergency room or onto an acute care hospital.
Right.
So no one really recognizes us as an acute care facility.
I was thinking more along the lines of patients being transported in, or really more patients being transported out
Yeah, and when you say,
to more acute care.
you mean once they're a patient in our
Once they're a
facility?
patient of yours,
Correct.
right.
Okay. Yeah, the industry average is about 12 to 15%. So if you look at all the patients in the United States who receive rehabilitation care, that average is around 12 to 15%, depending on what part of the country you're in. Our company average is 7%.
Okay.
So we're very committed to providing very good, effective care, and not having those patients have a need for, that higher service.
So there would be it's a few and far between thing, as opposed to several runs on a daily or weekly basis.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.
It's not the norm.
Right.
Correct.
All right, just
I-
wanted to clarify
Yeah, and I
that.
get I'm tending to answer your question more from a clinical perspective, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I understand more clearly with your question. So you're looking at traffic, so.
Right, the number of ambulance runs the city might be making up there,
Yeah.
which sounds like it'd be a few and far between kind of thing.
Right, it's not correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chester.
Okay, all right, thank you. Jim.
Appreciate it.
Hello, nice to see you again. I'm Lauren Buckley with Perkins & Well Architects. Like Chester mentioned, we've been working with Reliant for many years on their facilities, so we're very familiar with their program needs and the way their facilities operate. So we're really excited to be involved in this project. I just wanted to give you a high-level view of what we're proposing, if now is an appropriate time to do that, or?
Yes, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right. If you could turn to page 25 in your booklet, we show the architectural site plan, which gives you the basic layout of the site plan in relation to the building and the parking and the adjacent roads around. So it is a one-story, 44,000 square foot building. We have 40 beds with capability to expand 8 beds in the future. All rooms are private rooms and they're all handicap accessible. We have a state-of-the-art gym that provides lots of natural daylight and looks out into the outdoor courtyard. And the courtyard is also used for therapy. So just to orient you with the site plan, the front of the building faces northern lateral. And we have entries into the site off of Section Avenue and Ross Avenue. The main entry, we would assume off Section Avenue, that's where the patient drop-off is, labeled right there, the main entry. We have a canopy covering there for patients to be dropped off and admitted. Parking, we're providing 81 parking spaces, 12 of which are accessible. And per the city ordinance, 77 is required, so we're a little over parked, or have extra parking, excuse me. Any questions on the site plan or anything else I can cover for you? I don't know how much detail you'd like me to go into.
No.
I had a couple.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
One, I had a question on sidewalks. Are you planning to have sidewalks on this, along the streets?
There are sidewalks currently on the street,
Right.
and so there will be sidewalks on Ross and Section.
Okay, I wasn't clear, so I just wanted
Oh.
to double check. And they're
Yes.
kind of there, but I'm not an expert on the drawing, so. And the second question I had is the outdoor physical therapy area at the northern end of it. It's got a security fence,
Yes.
and I'm just curious, what kind of a fence is that, or would that be, do you think?
Well, we were thinking it would be more of a wrought iron fence, something decorative, and it's for protection for the patient so they cannot wander out, or pedestrians walking by cannot enter in. So it's just for security of the patients and privacy.
Okay, I assumed it would be a nice looking wrought iron. I just wanted to double check
Yes.
security, didn't mean barbed wire kind of thing,
No,
so.
will not be, no.
All right.
It will be decorative in nature, yes.
Right,
Not
that's
a
what I
barbed
thought.
wire fence.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome, no problem.
Good
Yeah.
question, now.
Clarify.
Any other questions on this
Site plan?
aspect?
No. Okay. Page 20. Excuse me. Page 29 is the layout of the space, and there's photos there on the left side of the page that show the patient room, or an example of an existing patient room that Reliant operates, and this is in Dallas. So the floor plan, like I said, is 40 beds with possibility to expand to 8 more, so 48 total, and all the support spaces include administration, dietary, pharmacy lab, and materials management. So the building is set up to where the front piece of the building is all of your support, your entry sequence, and your support spaces, and then the patient care happens kind of in this horseshoe shape that you see along the back of the building, or the rear of the building. Do I need to explain more detail of the floor plan, or any specific spaces? Questions? So I will mention this though, in the patient wings there, you see there's a really wide corridor between the patient rooms, and that's part of Reliant's philosophy, is to do these day rooms and to really encourage their patients to get out of their room and into these day rooms to spend time with their families or their therapist, or just to get them out and moving and not sitting in their room. So there's a photo of one of those day rooms on page 4. Look back at that, and those are what those spaces kind of look like. So. Any questions?
Looks nice. Any other on this? Okay.
No?
Thank you. Anyone else that covers you? You're covered. Okay. All right. With moving forward with that, what we, as I said earlier, Norman, what we do is we give anyone, because they do send out notifications for a public hearing and a 300-foot radius, so, or anyone really could come and speak for or against it. So with that being said, we'll open it, or I'll open it up for anyone who would like to come forth, speak in favor of the change, the development. All you have to do is come forth and give your name and address, so. Anyone who would like to speak in favor of it or for it, please come forward. All right, we have no one coming forward for. Do we have anyone who'd like to speak against it? Please come forward. Anyone who would like to speak against the developing that, please come forward. All right, since we have neither anyone for or against it, we'll do is we'll close the public hearing at this point, and do I have roll call to motion to close the public hearing? By John, seconded by Keith. We have the roll call, please, Jerry.
Chairman Gears,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
All right, thank you. What we'll do at this point, move into our regular meeting, and starting that, we'll, if we can do the roll call, please.
Mr. Brown,
Yes. Here.
Chairman Gears,
Here?
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Mayor Williams.
Here.
Thank you, Jerry. And with that, we have minutes from our September 3rd meeting. If there are no additions or changes or corrections, do I hear a motion to accept them as if read?
Motion to accept as if read.
First by John, do we have a second by Keith? We'll do the roll.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
Chairman Gears.
Yes. With that, the next item on the agenda is old business. We have no old business. So with that, we'll move into our new business. We have one item underneath that. And that is, item number one is Darrell Simpson, Senior Vice President, Development for the Sanders Trust, representing Reliant Hospital Norwood, 4953 Section Avenue, located in a heavy manufacturing district, which is M2, with a planned unit development, which is a PUD overlay, is representing for review both the preliminary and final plans. With that being said, any questions, comments? Mayor, do you want to?
First of all, I want to say that we had a meeting with the representatives from Alliance sometime back in the conference room. And for somebody who's had a dear loved one who's experienced and been in rehab, I had a lot of questions. All good answers. I mentioned the area where the outside area, and you've made those changes because of the street. And looking at that facility and having questions on it, not being an expert, but having experience, I ask a lot of questions, and I loved every answer. I mean, you know, when as a loved one, you know, your loved one's in there. As a family member, when you go to these facilities, it can take you back. And when you walk into a facility that looks like this and is set up like this, it's not only comforting for the patient, but it's also comforting for the family. It's absolutely, from what I've seen in the conversations I've had, this is perfect. And I understand the facility that my wife was in, you guys used to be associated with them or something, or Health South, I believe it is, and and broke off. So that's a good company, and I'm sure you broke off, and I'm sure you will be a good company. And for somebody who knows you never want to see a loved one or be in an experience like that, but if you are, this is the type of atmosphere that you want. When the family's happy and looking at those rooms and private rooms, nobody hopes to see this happen. But I'll be honest with you, it's nice to know that if you're unfortunate to experience this, that the city of Norwood will have a place for you to go close to your home and be well cared for. So I'm looking forward to the completion of this, and really looking forward to see the day you open it up and we can go through it. So, and with your experience, there were several questions I had about care and nursing, and you know, some patients are fighting through issues and they have psychological problems trying to deal with it, and so the family. And so knowing that the help is there is very good, and knowing that there's a place where patients can be encouraged to go out and mingle and get involved. The individual I happen to know, you couldn't keep her out of she signed up for extra classes, and she was a busybody and really had a desire. So that all means a lot, not only to the community, but to the individuals. I'm sure that there's somewhere down the road, somebody's going to be in there, and they're going to be real thankful for the facility. So I welcome you to the city of Norwood.
All right, any other comments or questions? Yes, John?
I'm just glad to see a first-class looking building, just from the exterior, for that area, because even before the fire, it was blighted looking, that whole area. And I think this is going to spruce it up a little bit, and hopefully start some more further development than what we already have over in that area. Thank you.
All right, thank you, John. Any other questions or comments?
Just, I just want to say, I think it's a fantastic project. I've seen a lot, not on this body, but I've seen a lot of projects come forward, and literally I came up with all of the questions I possibly could, and we've done them. So that'll tell you how good the proposal is. Everything about your company sounds great. The philosophy to patient care, the mayor was talking about, the attention to detail, the physical facility itself is all fantastic. So thank you, and I'll echo again, welcome to Norwood.
All right. And the only thing I would say, we appreciated the meeting, and as everyone else has said, we're looking forward to you being here, and it'll be a big plus for the city. So, with that, if there's no other questions, comments, or concerns, do I hear a motion?
I would move
Yes.
I'd move to approve the request for PUD.
All right. Do I hear a second
I'll
on that? Seconded by John. Any discussion on that? If not, can we have the roll call, please?
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
Chairman Gears,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Jerry. With that, we'll move on to, down our agenda, communications and miscellaneous. We have no communications. Excuse any absent members. We don't have any absent members. Do we hear a motion to adjourn? John, seconded by Keith. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Meeting is now adjourned.